Happy Easter, guys. What's up? Welcome into another episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all of my socials at Sports Talk Matt on this Sunday, end of the week episode of the Daily Juice. So, Friday, down a unit or so. Well, I guess Thursday. We won on Friday, right? And then Saturday we lost, unfortunately. We could have had a flat day or maybe even a winning day, but unfortunately, the Pistons blew a double-digit lead in the second half to the Knicks, a 21-0 run as welcome to the playoffs, Detroit Pistons. But I still like their chances. I still like our bet with them catching 2.5 games against the Knicks. I think the Pistons are right there. They just learned what playoff basketball is, and I thought Cade Cunningham got distracted by the lack of calls, looking at the refs too much. But Minnesota blows out the Lakers, big win there. We do not get either. I mean, Walker got pulled after 56 pitches. What was that, Philadelphia? And then Libator came in and got 6 Ks there. So 1-3, down 1.45 units on the day. So still a very good week going. And so because of that, I have a unique strategy that I executed yesterday, and part of it is because I'm doing work on Sports Grid, so I'm doing on a television network where I'm doing in-game betting. So yesterday I was really active with in-game wagering. I didn't have a great day, but I was really active with it. I made up for a lot of things, betting back and forth. I had a bunch of plays on the Timberwolves game that really played out well for me. I didn't get involved with the Knick game as fast as I should have. I missed a lot of the good numbers, so I lost money on that game, but I made money on the 2 previous games. And I'm going to do the same thing here, okay? I'm coming in. I'll explain to you what I'm going to do here in just 1 second, but I really like the attitude. And then I've got a really fun parlay because it is Easter. So let's do a fun Easter-themed ridiculous parlay. It's ridiculous, but I've hit, we've done okay on these. I've hit the last 2, I think, for these parlays. So somebody asked me on the Paul Revere parlay, they said, you always say don't do parlays, and then you give them out and they cash. Aren't you teaching them the wrong thing? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm doing it for fun, and I've got a theme of mine. So if you're winning your theme parlays, fine. Bet your parlays if they have themes, but only if they have themes. Let's talk about a couple things business-related wise. Have you guys gone and checked out the betting systems yet for BettingPros? I know for a lot of you haven't checked these out, but you should. The BettingPros systems, the tool is designed to help you find winning strategies and make smarter bets. You can customize your betting system by sport, by bet type, and time frame to find the best opportunities using real-time data and expert analysis. Track the performance of different betting systems over time and optimize your bets to increase your chances of success. Download the BettingPros app today or go to bettingpros.com/systems to elevate your betting strategy and to start making smarter bets. Now, if you guys haven't gone and downloaded the app yet, you should really go and do so for the BettingPros app, either in the Android Play, Google Play, or the App Store for Apple. You should absolutely go and take a look at that. You can download the app for free. With Sportsbook Sync, you can automatically track your bets across all major sportsbooks in one spot. Easily monitor your bet performance by sport, bet type, including game picks, props, and parlays. Create your customized betting systems, like we just talked about, to find winning trends and profitable opportunities. And if you guys haven't gone and checked out the offer yet, you should definitely do so. BettingPros Premium, get 7 days for free. Download the BettingPros app and use the code JUICE for a 7-day trial of BettingPros Premium, where you guys can go and find the prop bet cheat sheet, which, by the way, after game 1, after today, we will have played 1 game in all of the series. I am going to go and bet some player props, okay? I want the prop bet cheat sheet to have at least 1 game under its belt to compare and contrast the numbers of playoff basketball versus regular season basketball. So I know we're doing the prop contest as well, so I'll be involved in that, but I will have prop bets later on in the week as we go. But remember, as of Friday, I'm on vacation, so this will be kind of a crazy 1 week, Saturday to Saturday, we'll be off. So I think I got to count. I believe Friday night taping is the last time I'm taping the Daily Juice. It's a Saturday morning, so there will be a Saturday podcast. And then Saturday night, there won't be a podcast, although there might be. I got to see. My plane leaves Sunday. So I think I can do a podcast on. I think I can do that. Yeah, Saturday night I should be able to tape. So it's Sunday morning, because Sunday morning the flight's at I'm leaving for the airport at 5 a.m. on Sunday morning. So then, and I'm actually leaving Thursday, flying to Boston, and then flying from Boston out of the country 2 days later. So kind of confusing, but just so you guys know, essentially, I think it's going to be Sunday to Sunday. I think that's what we're going to have with the 7 days off for the Daily Juice podcast while I'm on vacation. But I'll clarify all that in a couple of days and give you guys the exact dates of everything. I wanted to give you guys a heads up as to what was going to be happening for us. Okay, let's get to tonight. Here's what I'm doing. All dogs. All dogs. Now, before you go, Matt, what the heck are you doing? Here's the thing. Let's start, just for instance, with the first game of the day, okay? In the first game of the day, we're talking about a double-digit line for the Memphis Grizzlies at Oklahoma City. They're catching 13.5. Memphis has already played 2 games to get to this spot, to be the 8th seed, okay? They've already played 2 playoff games. Oklahoma City has been sitting and resting. And while I know OKC is going to be jumping, and I know OKC is going to be a tough place, I want a 10-point middle. If this number gets down to around 3.5 or 4, okay, on every one of these games I'm going to tell you about, I'm looking for a 10-point middle. If at any point the number gets down, it's 13.5. I am taking Memphis plus 13.5. If we get OKC minus 3.5, and if that 13.5 is going to cash, chances are at some point during the game, the volatility of the NBA is so crazy. You saw it all games yesterday. At some point, Memphis is going to be 3.5 or 4-point dogs. Okay, there's going to be a big run by the Grizzlies. Ja's ankle is going to be feeling better. They're going to make a big run. When that happens, we will lay 3.5 or 4 points with Oklahoma City. We'll have a 10-point middle, and we'll sit back trying to hit both numbers. We can't, if we play it right and it comes down and gets to that point, we can't really lose anything but the juice. Okay, be mindful of the juice. All right. And you don't have to do this. Okay, just FYI, you don't have to do this. I will be on the Discord channel. I will tell you officially what the play is, okay? Your bankroll has to be big enough to handle this too, by the way, okay? So if you're playing with $200 and you're betting $50 a game, that's not good, okay? You're going to have a hard time with this. But if you've got the bankroll to go ahead and do this, and you should, remember, a unit is 3 to 5%. For some, if you're cold, it's 1 to 3% of your overall bankroll. So if it's $100, $1 to $3. If you're cold, if you're hot, it's $3 to $5. That's your 1 unit play. Okay. So just have a heads up. That's how I am going to approach all 4 of these games today. So not the easiest strategies to follow, but I'm trying to middle everything. Okay. I'm trying to middle it all. You don't see numbers like this in the playoffs. Okay. You just don't. Postseason game ones, to see a number of 13.5 is eye-opening. I know OKC's great, but man alive, the way the NBA in-game betting goes, we're going to have a number at some point. We're going to get a decent number on the Grizzlies, all right? If we don't, we lose a unit and fine. We move on to the next. But I'd be very surprised if we don't have a good number from the Grizzlies at some point, catching 3, 4, 5, somewhere in that range, okay? Discord channel is bettingpros.com/chat. If you're not in there, but I'll be hanging out all day, okay? Watching basketball and telling you when I'm going to fire on this. But if I'm not in there or you miss it, 10-point middles, okay? 13.5, I want 3.5 or 4 for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Minus 3.5 or minus 4. If you see that, fire, all right? Second game of the day, the Orlando Magic at the Boston Celtics. This game is also 13.5. It just moved. Now it's 14. All right. So you guys, by the time you get up, I just bet 13.5 right before taping. It's now 14. You guys are going to get better numbers than me. Okay. The same theory, the same philosophy. Boston has the propensity to not show up in game ones in games in which they have 14-point spreads. Just heads up. Okay. This Celtics team has been known to just fall asleep. They did it all last year on their way to a championship. They just don't really, they know they can win the games without really their eyes being open, and they're just like, oh, right, we're playing basketball today. Huh, okay. It's Easter, distractions all over the place. 13.5. Give me the Magic plus 13.5 with the same strategy of when Boston is up -3.5, -4. Come in here, 10-point middle. Again, we don't get these opportunities when it comes to pre-flop numbers. This is an in-game situation normally. You don't normally see double-digit spreads pre-game, but, look at the Lakers were 4.5-point favorites yesterday. They got annihilated, okay? 7-point favorites, the Knicks, they ended up covering, but they should have lost. Should have lost the game, let alone cover. Should have lost the game the way the fourth quarter went. That's just a freaky, fluky thing that happened. So, you look at Indiana, Milwaukee was never in the game. That number was 6. That number wanted to be not even usable. Denver was laying 2.5 or 3. Denver won by 2 in overtime. Okay, give you an idea. Some of the numbers were sharp. Some of the numbers weren't. Okay, but in gaming for Denver and the Clippers was awesome. You can go back and forth, plus. Okay, doing the same thing here. So pre-flop is Memphis plus 13.5, Orlando plus 13.5, Miami, same conversation. That's a 7 o'clock Eastern time start. Night gaming, Cleveland, Miami plus 12.5. They've been playing playoff basketball to get to this spot. They're the first 10 seed ever to get into the actual playoff bracket since the play-in bracket began. Cleveland's at home. Miami and Cleveland, they got a thing, as we know, with LeBron and whatnot. Eric Spoelstra, really good coach. Let's see what happens with the game plan here. I think with Donovan Mitchell going up against a pretty difficult backcourt for the Miami Heat, let's see what happens here. Let's see what Cleveland can wind up doing and the defense for Miami, what they do against him. So I can't wait to see how this whole thing unfolds, the way it's going to be playing. So to me, take the points. Miami plus 12.5. At some point during the game, Cleveland will be laying 2.5, 3, somewhere in that generalized place. Come in and take Cleveland. Same situation. Now, Golden State at Houston. This game's different. Okay, this game's a little different. The first 3 games, we're going for a middle. Okay, we're going for a 10-point middle. We're going back and forth. Okay, so we're going in some point those 3 games, the first 3 games of the day, we're looking for a 10-point middle, trying to hit both bets. Okay, Golden State at Houston is a different story. This is actually a bet. Okay, I'm going to take Golden State plus 1. I was going into this looking at potentially taking Houston, laying 1.5. I flipped to Golden State after watching what happened to the Pistons. There's something to be said about playoff experience. There's something to be said about having killers. And there's something to be said about having a guy who wants the ball in crunch time with the game on the line. Jimmy Butler's that guy. I'm not fading Jimmy Butler in game 1. This game won't be a hedge play. This is just a straight bet. I'm taking Golden State plus 1, plus 1.5. I think they win the game outright, but I'll take the point just for the heck of it. I really do think the Golden State's going to go in there and win, and I think the numbers are right. I think everyone disrespecting the Houston Rockets could end up eating their words, including me. But until I see it in the postseason, I can't buy the kids up against Golden State with Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. Call it square, call it public, call it whatever you want. I can't do it until I see it. So if I lose the unit, so be it. I lose it, okay? We're going to be able to get something on either side, but I'll take the point. Golden State plus 1, I'll take it. Looking for them to win the game and then potentially maybe an in-game play at some point on Houston, but I do think Golden State wins the game. So this is not a strategic play. I'm not grabbing the points for the hell of it, trying to play off of it. It's only 1 point. Again, the numbers were very good yesterday. Clippers wound up as catching 3 points at close. They won the game. They covered. They didn't win, but they covered. This is another really tight line. I think this comes all the way down to the end, but I'm going to take the team with the playoff experience and the team that knows how to win. New York and Detroit, That was a game that just got away from the Detroit Pistons in the second half. There's no home court for the Rockets, or for like there was for New York, for Golden State. But I don't think it will matter all that much because I think the Rockets are incredibly talented, but probably a year or two away from being able to handle a team like Golden State with Jimmy Butler. Warriors +1 for 1.1 units. You can find 1.5s in the market. Superbook's got 1.5. South Point's at 1.5. DraftKings is at 1. Caesars is at 1. Offshore's at 1.5. You guys are going to get 1.5. I got 1. I took 1, but Golden State +1. I don't think I'll need it. Warriors to win the game. All right. You want a really fun parlay? Here's a fun parlay. All right. So this is, just so you know, this is truly absurd. Like, this is an absolutely absurd thing that I am doing with this. Okay. So Miami +12.5, Orlando +13.5, Memphis +13.5. Looking for a 10-point middle in all those games. Golden State +1. There's the 4 plays for the NBA. The Cavaliers, CC. Okay. It's Easter. There was a thing called a C&E Catholic once. It's Easter. Double C, Cleveland Cavaliers. There's your Christmas. If you were a C&E Catholic, tip of the cap to you. My family is full of C&E Catholics. Christmas and Easter, okay? It's Easter. There's your first play. Cavaliers money line. Cavaliers losing at home in game 1 would be very, very surprising, okay? I don't see them losing game 1 at home. Second play. The New Jersey Devils are playing the Carolina Hurricanes. You can't bet the Devils on Easter. That doesn't work. So we're betting the Carolina Hurricanes, okay? Fading the Devils. We're also fading the Miami Heat on top of that because, well, Heat and the Devil and Heat and hell. So we're going to take Cleveland for 2 reasons with that. With the Cleveland Cavaliers money line and going money line on the Carolina Hurricanes. The third bet is the weirdest of them all. Well, Brad Lord is pitching in the second game of the doubleheader for the Nationals against the Rockies. Second game, not first game, doubleheader today. Why? Snow. It's been snowing. They've had 2 snowouts here in this game. So this is the makeup of they played yesterday, right? Yeah, so it's 1 snowout, sorry, but the snowed out on Friday. So here we go with 2 games on Sunday for the Nats and the Rockies. We're not fading the Lord on Easter. Come on. Can't do that. So we're taking the Nats in game 2 of the doubleheader at the Rockies for a +217 parlay. Half a unit. Why not? Let's do it. Cavaliers money line, Hurricanes money line, Nats money line. It is your Easter parlay for us with fading the Heat, fading the Devils, and betting on the Lord for the Nationals at +217 for a half a unit. And it is absolutely insane, ridiculous, and probably something you shouldn't play. But why the heck not? It's Easter. Happy Easter, everybody. Hopefully you got everything you wanted and the Easter Bunny was good to you and yours. Enjoy the day. 4 games of basketball. I'm not going to bet hockey today other than taking the Hurricanes. There's nothing really else that I love in the hockey for today. We'll go betting playoff hockey later on in the week. Got a lot of fun stuff to get into this week with playoff basketball, playoff hockey, and Major League Baseball here for us on a 3rd week of April. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me across all my socials at Sports Talk Matt every morning, wherever you guys get your podcasts. It is the Daily Juice.